Hi, I'm Soft Goth, and today I'm going to be decluttering my tiny Tokyo apartment and also my mind. So, I just posted yesterday. I'm really excited to be posting and back into not only making art, but making a life for myself where I'm happy. And as I was editing my video yesterday, I was just like so blown away by my transformation throughout. Like, at the start of it, I felt like I was so reserved, and by the end, I felt like I had so much more energy. And today, I feel like I have even more energy. And the reason is I finally cleaned my depression room. So, I mentioned in the last video, I've been in like an emotional slump all summer, but about a month ago, I looked in front of my apartment and there was this notice in Japanese. Google translated it. It said, okay, at the end of the month, somebody has to come to your apartment to inspect something on the veranda. And I was like, okay, like, I have to lock in, like, there's no other option. It did take a lot of, like, mental muscle to gather the strength, but I did get there. It was a little bit last minute, but I did get there. So I started cleaning yesterday, and I had until today for the inspection. And things were a mess, like clothes all over the floor, so many bottles, like way more than I thought. Like things had really spiraled out of control into a way that like I didn't even really like imagine that they had. Um but yeah, like there was just this immense sense of like catharsis to be able to pick everything up and put it in its place. And I've known that. I'm like, how have I not been cleaning when I know how good it is for my brain and for myself? Um, I actually saw this video the other day. I've been watching a lot of YouTube recently since I want to get back into it. And I saw this video by El Green, if I'm saying that right. And it's called How Much YouTube Paid Me as a Lifestyle YouTuber, which you wouldn't even imagine would be helpful, but she talked about how she films herself decluttering her space and how well those videos do. And she actually said the words like decluttering my space and decluttering my mind. And like the connections kind of just started, like going off like fireworks basically in my brain. And I kind of had the realization that, yeah, like your living situation is really integral to how you feel and how you communicate with other people outside of your house, even how you communicate with yourself and take care of yourself. Like, I feel like it all starts in the space that you spend the most time in. And like I said, I knew this. Um, I think like an issue that I have personally is with intellectualizing, and this might be like a weird connection to make, but I was reading 1984 for the first time. I don't know how I've never read it, but like I just hadn't. And towards the end of the book, they were talking about this concept of like lying to yourself so thoroughly that you don't even know that you're lying to yourself. And I feel like in a way I kind of have to do that to live sometimes. And or it's like a strategy that I was using to live rather than the healthier strategy of being aware of how I'm feeling and continuing on despite that, or kind of using these things that I know to like form a mental plan on how to live better. When I first moved to this apartment, I was cleaning all the time, and I was using cleaning as like a coping mechanism to avoid dealing with my problems. And after realizing this, I kind of stopped cleaning. And this wasn't like the cause of my like mental spiral or anything, but it definitely marked a moment in it where I kind of couldn't lie to myself about what I was doing any longer. And I kind of lost a coping mechanism that I had that also contributed towards like having a positive, not only mental space, but like physical space as well. But it was, it sucked to live in filth for a couple months, but having come out the other end of it, I'm kind of like happy that I went through it. I'm kind of happy that I went through acknowledging the fact that you can avoid the work in a positive way and it's still avoiding. And the real answer isn't to replace negative habits with good habits, but it's to really investigate yourself thoroughly and make sure that everything that you're doing is out of self-love. And that's one thing that I felt the strongest while cleaning was this sense of like self-love. Like, I love taking care of myself, and I haven't felt that way in a long time, it feels like. And I'm really happy to have that back.
Okay, cheers. Yes. So, yes. So it's break time. Um, I cleaned for maybe about an hour. I took a couple breaks. Let's be clear. But I got a good amount done when I went out to get this drink. I don't know, I kind of just felt like a bit of appreciation for life. Like the first people I passed were this group of like really fashionable young people. And then the second group I passed were these two like older in their 50s or 60s Japanese women dressed to the nines. Maybe they don't go out that much, but they're like happy to meet up again after a while. And they were talking about like, oh my god, girl, like I need to get a cigarette. I was like, yes, ladies, so relatable. And then I passed by these two, maybe like 19 or 20-year-old otaku who were like super stereotypical looking. Like they were carrying bags of like Pokemon merch. And it kind of just made me feel so human. I don't know, I feel like people who live abroad are always talking about like how different their country is from the country that they're living in. But I feel like more often than not, I'm so like surprised by how similar everyone is around the world. Like, I'll watch like a child in the grocery store have a tantrum and I'll be like, oh my god, like, we're all human. Or like, there was this one time I was behind these Japanese like choir students and they were like harmonizing on the way to the train station. It was so annoying. But I was like, this is something that like American theater kids would do. Like, we really are all the same for real. Cheers to that, right?
Also, like, this is gonna sound a little bit toxic, I think, but in a way, I kind of want to be like good enough, not just for others, but like also for myself, but also for others. Um, I don't know if it's 100% negative. Maybe it is in some ways. I haven't figured out everything, but I think it's important to want to treat others well. And I think a part of wanting to treat others well is treating myself well and making sure that I'm living at like full capacity and that I can hold space for other people. Um, for the first time in a long time, I am trying to date, and dating in Tokyo is, I feel like dating in general is hard, but like dating where there's like a language barrier, a culture barrier, and all of these other things is also really hard. And like, people keep trying to invite themselves over to my house, and my room kind of looks like that "damn bitch you live like this" meme, and I can't have that. Like, I'm not inviting someone into my space if my space isn't up to my standards. Um, and I know there are people that kind of can accept you at when you're not at your full capacity. Um, but still, I'd like to get to full capacity if possible. I'd like to be there. So that was also like something that I was thinking of while I was wiping these floors down, bottling up these bottles, bagging them up, wiping things down, organizing.
It kind of doesn't look like I did anything, but trust me, it's so much better than it was before. So much work to do though still.
And it was also really nice to just like find little things that like my friends had given me, like little reminders that I'm cared for and stuff. So yeah, it was just really nice. Um, and it did take me quite a while. I did take a few breaks though. I don't know if being in like a different culture is contributing to like how I feel mentally. I mean, I'm sure it influences everything, right? But I don't know, I'm just so happy about where I am right now. Um, Although there is like this just do it kind of approach that Japanese people have towards mental health that can kind of make things a little bit like insensitive sometimes. Like I feel like people don't really acknowledge nuance in like a really culturally specific way here sometimes. But like I said, I don't think it's all bad, and I kind of felt the spirit of just do it, just get it done while I was cleaning. And hey, if it works, it works. And today it definitely worked. My space is way better. I feel way better. I feel inspired to work hard, not just at like YouTube or dating or any of those things, but I feel this desire to work hard interpersonally too. It just feels good to take care of yourself. And I'm happy that, I'm back here in this headspace. I do have a little bit more work to do in this room. I have another load of laundry I need to get done. I have some dishes that I need to wash. I probably could stand to organize things a little bit better. Like I said, my room is 19 meters square. Space is a hot commodity in Tokyo. So some things are just kind of naturally crowded, but I think I've made a really good start and I'm proud of it. And I will take you along the journey of building it.
Okay, so like it's not perfect, but I'm really proud of it. It's definitely very lived in. I definitely need to do my dishes and stuff. But compared to where we started at, I'm very proud. I'm very happy. Rewarded myself with Wendy's and I'm enjoying.